All right, Berserker, let's talk about clearances and authorizations. Names, logos, products, artwork, and other things that sue. A lot of filmmakers, well, we think legal risk only shows up in contracts. It does not. It also shows up in the frame, because the second your camera captures something recognizable that you did not own, did not license, or did not clear, you may be creating a problem that follows the film into post, into delivery, and into release. That is what clearances are about. Clearances are the process of identifying what appears in the film and making sure you actually have the rights to use it, show it, reference it, reproduce it, or distribute it. This includes things like brand logos, product labels, copyrighted artwork, posters, photographs, paintings, signage, trademarks, company names, book covers, album covers, television playing in the background, music playing on set, recognizable private property features, and sometimes even names of or references that create legal exposure. This is where filmmakers get blindsided because we are focused on the performance, the lighting, the emotion, the camera move, and the shot looks great. Then later, somebody notices a logo on a soda can, a painting on the wall, a poster in the background, a TV clip playing behind the actors, or a brand name used in dialogue in a way that invites trouble. Now, the shot is not just a shot. It is a rights issue. That is why this lesson matters. What needs to be cleared? A good rule is simple. If it is recognizable, not yours, and commercially valuable or legally protected, do not assume that you can use it. That includes names. If you use a real person's name, company name, or brand name, especially in damaging, misleading, or commercial way, you may create defamation, false association, or trademark problems. Logos and trademarks. If a logo, brand mark, or recognizable product branding is visible, especially in a way that implies endorsement, criticism, criminal conduct, or commercial association, it can become a problem fast. Products. A product in frame is not always automatically fatal, but if it is featured prominently, discussed negatively, used in a dangerous context, or tied to brand confusion, it can become a clearance issue. Artwork. This is a big one. Paintings, murals, photographs, sculptures, posters, prints, and graphic designs are often copyrighted. Just because it's hanging on a wall does not mean you can distribute it in your film. Media inside the frame. TV shows, songs, video clips, computer screens, branded websites, magazines, packaging, and book covers can all create rights issues. Other things that sue, that means anything that can trigger a claim because it was used without permission and used in a misleading way or used beyond what the law allows. Why filmmakers get burned? Because they confuse three different ideas. Visible does not mean free to use. Bought does not mean licensed for film. On location does not mean cleared for distribution. That is the trap. A filmmaker rents a house and thinks everything inside is fair game. It is not. A filmmaker shoots in a real store and leaves all the labels visible. Bad idea. A filmmaker thinks a poster on a bedroom wall is harmless until the distributor flags it. A filmmaker lets music play during the scene and says, "We'll fix it later." Sometimes later means reshoot, replace, blur, crop, repaint, license, or lose the shot. What authorizations do? Authorizations are the written permissions that back up your use. That may mean an artwork release, a property release, a trademark or brand permission, a location agreement that specifically covers visible items, a set dressing clearance, a life rights or name-related permission in some contexts, written approval from the rights holder, or documented proof that the material is original, licensed, public domain, or otherwise safely usable. This is not about paranoia. It is about making the film deliverable, because distributors, platforms, insurers, and lawyers do not care that the shot was hard to get. They care whether it creates risk. How this hits distribution. This is where the fantasy dies. The problem with uncleared material is not just that someone might complain. The problem is that the film can get flagged during legal review, delivery review, E&O review, or buyer review. That can lead to reshoots, blurs, paint outs, cropping, replacement graphics, music swaps, legal fees, delayed delivery, insurer objections, buyer hesitation, or rejection. So no, clearances are not glamorous, but they are one of the invisible systems keeping your film from stepping on a landmine after picture lock. How to protect the film. You do not solve this in panic mode at the end. You solve it by building habits during prep, production, and post. That means checking backgrounds before you roll, removing or covering unlicensed artwork and logos, controlling props and set dressing, using original or licensed materials, documenting permissions in writing, flagging anything questionable during script breakdown and location prep, and keeping a clearance file so you know what is covered and what is not. If it needs to be seen, clear it. If it cannot be cleared, replace it. If it should not be there, remove it before the camera sees it. What this lesson really means is a film is not just performance and images. It is a package of rights, and every uncleared thing in the frame is a small crack in that package. Some cracks stay quiet. Some become expensive. Some are exactly the kind of issue that shows up when you think you are done. That is why clearances and authorizations matter, because names, logos, products, artwork, and background elements are not decoration once they are recorded. They become part of the legal reality of the film. The bottom line, if it is in the frame, it is in the risk. Clearances protect the film from hidden rights problems. Authorizations prove you had permission, and the filmmakers who ignore this usually do not feel it on set. They feel it later when the movie is supposed to move. All right, we'll see you in the next one, Berserker.